So, oh gosh, I don't know if that started. Oh, that's interesting. So you can see all of me now. Isn't this awesome? I missed this. I have a computer now, a laptop. I got it yesterday, and after all the, because I'm getting used to using it because it has Windows 8 on it, so I've never used that before, so it's all crazy and stuff. But I just finished watching Details, which is the first half of this video, and then the second half will be shortly after. I'll transitions, all that business. I'm gonna watch it like right after I finish recording this part. Okay, so this episode is called Details, and a lot of things happened in this episode, you guys. Wait, before I get into that, I need to show you guys something. As you guys know, you might know, I love Sherlock. In any capacity, but I specifically love these two wonderful things right here. The first, season one. Season 2. Wrong one. Season 1, and then season 2. I finally got them today, since I had the money, and I've been watching them like months ago online, but I didn't know that we had it in our store because I don't know, I just didn't think so. But yeah, and so I'm probably watching that later after I do a lot of writing. But back to the review. Okay, so this one's called Details, and it was actually a pretty good episode. It surrounded Detective Bell, who you guys seen a lot in the show. He's basically the second in command for Gregson, and he ends up, so he's talking on the phone to Gregson, telling him about he had just finished looking over something for a case, and he's driving home, and someone basically does a drive-by on him, and thank God he was not killed. He actually, sorry guys, I don't know what's going on right now. He actually was his car kind of flipped over this like ramp thing while he's trying to get away from those people, and he only got like a scratch on his forehead, on his temple right there. And so Sherlock comes into, like, they get his car out, and Sherlock comes to the place. I don't know exactly what the place is called, where they keep all the cars and they do the thorough research of it, but that was the thing. And so Sherlock was like, if you wouldn't have swerved, you probably wouldn't have been scratched at all. And so what happens in this episode is that they find out that Detective Bell was being framed for he ends up being framed for a murder of a guy who he got sent to jail. He's a gang affiliated person, and he was someone that Bell ended up getting sent to jail, to prison for a while. And so that guy ends up getting killed, and they find evidence that it might be Bell, but it's not. It's not him. It turns out, and then because they find Sherlock finds this, like, the shoe print. It's a shoe that Bell has been known to wear before, but he has given his brother, who we are introduced to his brother, whose name's Andre, who is an ex-con. Which is interesting for that, because not, that's a bit interesting to see that kind of dynamic. And those two, they're kind of butting heads because they don't see eye to eye. And they got in a brawl during this episode, like almost toward the end, about it, because Andre feels that Marcus is Bell, that he should have had his back, because they later reveal that in a way Bell was the person who got his brother put behind bars in the first place. And so he's basically trying to help him out. He's on probation now. He's out of, and he wouldn't snitch basically. So that's why he just went on and did the full year, the full however many years he was in the pen. And then so they think it's his brother who's the one who was framing him, because they found a gun that was in well, it's not actually, no, it's not them, it's Bell, because he actually gave the particular shoes to his brother when he got out of the pen. And what happens is that his brother ends up getting shot, because they have an argument in the police station about, because he wasn't saying he was suspecting him of being the one who was framing him, but in a way he wanted to know if he was. And so what happens next is so the brother ends up getting shot, and Marcus Bell, he finds him basically almost dead in his in the little apartment he's living in, and he basically saves his life, and then they're like, that's basically rules him out as a suspect because he was shot. And they end up finding that the person who it was somebody who it's easy for me to like kind of pinpoint who's gonna end up being murdered or whatever, or who would be the murderer. Like, because in the beginning of the episode, Sherlock was made a deduction about this female officer who had worked with Bell previously, and she had heard about him being shot and shot at, and turns out she was the one who did it. And then that made me think, while they were interrogating her at the end of the episode, that made me think back to that old saying that I'm probably gonna say it wrong, but like basically like, nothing's more dangerous than a woman scorned. When a woman wants some revenge, they're gonna they're gonna get down and dirty. And I don't know exactly what they don't like exactly say what went on in the relationship that he had with her, but she really did some crazy shit to make it look like that he was killing people to mess up his reputation, because I'm guessing it's because he left her or whatever, because they had a sexual relationship, which Sherlock pointed out, and I thought that was hilarious. And then let's see what time it is. And then that was that. And so yeah, she was put behind bars, and the brother lived. And now this is the personal side, because I always have to bring it to the personal side, you guys. I think this was the most crazy, intense thing for Holmes and Watson, because, okay, first in the beginning of the episode, Sherlock is trying to get her to learn self-defense, because after, you remember, she was basically had a gun pointed at her. But in the episode, I think it was the previous one, when he was helping his drug dealer find his daughter, find the drug dealer, and Watson is like, if you then they show, because she still hasn't told him, right, about the fact that she's not supposed to be living with him or work with him, because she's been cut off from the older Mr. Holmes, because he's not paying her. He finds out Sherlock's knowing all along, and I kind of figured he did, because you can't really keep much from Sherlock at all. You can't, honestly, you can't. And so she was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I've known since the time I called up my dad. He told me. And she's just like quiet, and he's like, I appreciate the gesture that you stayed with me when you saw that I was going through a rough time. And I was waiting. I was trying to get better so that you could leave, because even though he didn't want her to leave, because he admitted that he cares about her and he wants her in his life. And basically, this part that sold me was, he's like, you don't have to be my sober companion anymore, but I would like you to be my companion. Like, oh my gosh, like, guys, that's kind of bold for Sherlock. And so that happened, you guys. And so he's like, it's up to you though. And so at the end of the episode, after the case is over and everything, she, like, cause he kept doing all these weird tests, like, to help her try and get into self-defense. Like, he threw a freaking, I think it's like a tennis ball or something at her back, and I was like, what is wrong with you? And then, I forgot, in the beginning, he had, went to, he dressed up with a ski mask, pretending to be a burglar, so that she would defend herself, and that didn't work out. And she was like, and I knew it was Sherlock to begin with. It's his eyes. You when you look at his eyes, you just know that's him. I knew it was him. I was like, no, that's Sherlock. It's no murder there. And what happens is basically, she says, yes, I'll stay, but she's gonna, until she gets enough money to get a partner of her own, she's staying rent free, and she'll continue to help and the stipulation is he has to continue going to meetings for his recovery. And he just kind of startled at her for a second. Then I forgot, he said something to her. He said something to Watson. I forgot. Oh god, it's gonna bother me. Watch me have to go back and look, and then talk like, that'll be like the next thing I say for the second half. So I will see you guys in a second, in a second, and with the second half of this double review. I hope you liked this little 12-minute part so far. And I'll see you guys in a second. Bye. I'm back again. Hey guys. So the second half was called Possibility 2. Honestly, I cannot immerse myself in this episode all that well, so this is gonna be a rather very, probably the shortest review ever. So basically it's about a philanthropist who he suddenly got a rare hereditary disease, but it wasn't something that ran in his family. So he asked Sherlock to investigate it, and Sherlock wasn't going to investigate it. And then he did, basically. And all the while, the only interesting part I can say was, it's funny because Watson, I remembered it. Watson and Sherlock had told Watson at the end of the last episode, so he said, congratulations on your new career, Watson. And so in this episode, it was a lot of it was focused on Watson kind of struggling to grasp the concept of the deduction and observation and all that. And it was kind of amusing because she's really horrible at it. I mean, seriously, she's horrible at it. And there was this one thing that he said. He said that the observation is not a skill. It's not a skill that you can learn. It's something. It's a point of view, basically. And I thought that was interesting because I never thought of it that way. Hey, it is actually pretty much that. It's not a skill. You have to get your mind to hone on into the little details. And so a lot of that happened. And so in the case, they found out, because the rare disease is basically, it starts off with dementia, and then it escalates until you die. You die basically at the end of it. And the son didn't want Sherlock to have anything to do with the case, so he basically fired him and Watson. And so that was a thing. And then what else? Oh crap, I can't think right now. It's because I actually have to go do something now. I have to go clean a little bit, but shoot, what was it? But Sherlock, he continued to investigate regardless, and it turned out was a contributor who was contributing to a, I don't know, if, like people who work with genetics, but I don't know if it's called a, I know the thing is called genealogy, but geneticician or something like that. One of the contributors who would give money to these people to research and see what's going on, was the one who was behind it the whole time. Like, and then that was interesting. And there's a woman in the episode who the philanthropist had with him so that she could watch out for him or whatever. She ended up dying this episode because of a crazy boyfriend who was jealous, basically, because she decided to leave him because of, she found out he had this rare hereditary disease, and so he went all crazy and killed her. And so that was crazy. And Sherlock basically sent Watson on a wild goose chase to well, not a wild goose chase. He just kept sending her back to this cleaner's place, which really was it was a cleaner in a sense, but they were cleaning money. They weren't cleaning clothes. Like, they were launderer. But yeah, so sorry about this half, guys. It wasn't as very interesting as details, but it's not my favorite. It's not one of the better ones, honestly. So yeah, I have to go help my mom clean and stuff. Then I'll be all up in my writing zone for the rest of the day. So I'm gonna be a little busy. Happy to have my next 2 days off to do much more stuff. And I hope you guys are well. Let me know if I missed anything, or if what you thought of the episodes, and like, if you wanna, just like, I'm cool with that too. Just let me know. And I'll see you guys next week with another review. Pretty sure I'll be vlogging a bit more since I can do all this without all the craziness. Because I do have a few things I want to talk about personally. So I will see you guys later. Bye.